The first call came on a Tuesday morning. I was in a meeting. Phone on silent. But when I checked it during lunch, there were 3 missed calls from a number I didn't recognize. No voicemail on the first 2. But the third one had a message. This is Jennifer Cortez calling from Cascade Financial Recovery regarding an outstanding debt. We're attempting to reach Alexis Morgan regarding the account number ending in 7392. Please return this call at your earliest convenience. I stared at the phone. Alexis Morgan. My sister. I'm Cameron, 34, an accountant at a regional firm. Steady job. Decent salary. Single. No debt. The responsible one in a family that treated money like Monopoly pieces. Alexis was my older sister. 37. Investment banker. Made 3 times what I made. Drove a BMW. Lived in a condo downtown with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view of the waterfront. The golden child. The success story. The one my parents talked about at parties. Meanwhile, I was Cameron, who does taxes or something. I called the number back. Cascade Financial Recovery, this is Jennifer. Hi, this is Cameron Morgan. I got a call about my sister, Alexis Morgan. Yes, Mr. Morgan. Thank you for returning our call. We're attempting to collect on a debt your sister owes. Are you able to put us in contact with her? I can give you her number. But why are you calling me? Pause. Typing sounds. According to our records, you're listed as a financial guarantor on the account. My blood went cold. I'm what? A financial guarantor. You co-signed for the line of credit. No, I didn't. I've never co-signed anything for my sister. More typing. The application was submitted 14 months ago. Online. Verified with your social security number and date of birth. That's impossible. I stopped. How much is the debt? The current balance is $147,800. I almost dropped my phone. What? Plus accrued interest and late fees. The account is 90 days past due. We've been attempting to reach Ms. Morgan for 6 weeks with no response. There has to be a mistake. I didn't sign anything. Mr. Morgan, I understand this is concerning. But the documentation shows your information was used to guarantee the account. If you believe this is fraudulent, you'll need to file a report and contact our fraud department. Send me the documents. Everything. I can email them to the address on file. Is that still current? She read off my email. It was correct. Yes. Send them now. They'll arrive within the hour. Is there anything else I can help you with today? Yeah. Stop calling me about my sister's debt. I hung up. Sat there in my car, hands shaking. $147,000. Financial guarantor. Identity fraud. My sister had used my information to guarantee a line of credit. Without asking. Without telling me. And now debt collectors were calling me. I called Alexis. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Voicemail. Texted call me. Now. It's important. No response. The email arrived 38 minutes later. I opened it. Downloaded the attachments. Line of credit application. Submitted online. November of last year. Applicant, Alexis Morgan. Guarantor, Cameron Morgan. My social security number. My date of birth. My address. All correct. All used without my permission. I scrolled through the transaction history. Cash advances? Thousands at a time. Atlantic City. Las Vegas. Online gaming sites. Gambling. All of it. Over a year of withdrawals. Starting small. 2,000. 5,000. Then bigger. 10,000. 20. The payments had stopped 3 months ago. Since then, late fees and interest had been piling up. Current balance, $147,800. I felt sick. My phone rang. Alexis. I answered immediately. What the hell did you do? Cameron, I can explain. You used my information to guarantee a line of credit? Without asking me? I was going to tell you. When? When did debt collectors start calling me? When did my credit get destroyed? I didn't think it would get this bad. $147,000, Alexis. How did you even spend that much? Silence. Alexis? I had a rough year, okay? Work was stressful. I started going to casinos to blow off steam. It got out of hand. Out of hand? You gambled away $150,000. I know. I know it's bad. But I'm working on it. I have a plan. Does your plan involve paying back the debt? Because right now, they're coming after me. That's why I need your help. I laughed. Bitter. My help? Just temporarily. I need you to make a few payments while I sort things out. Maybe $10,000 a month. Just until I get back on my feet. $10,000 a month? Alexis, I don't have that kind of money. Yes, you do. You've been saving forever. You never spend anything. That's because I'm responsible. I don't gamble my savings away. Cameron, please. I'm your sister. Family helps family. Family doesn't commit identity fraud. I didn't commit fraud. I just borrowed your information. Without asking. That's fraud, Alexis. Don't be dramatic. I'll pay you back. I just need time. No. Absolutely not. I'm not paying your gambling debts. So you're just going to let them destroy both our credits? Because that's what's going to happen if this doesn't get paid. Then you should have thought of that before you used my information without permission. Cameron. I hung up. Sat there, staring at my email. At the transactions. At the debt that had my name attached to it. Then I called my bank. Hi, I need to freeze my credit immediately. And I need to file a fraud report. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept running the numbers. The timeline. The implications. If I were legally on the hook for this debt, my credit would already be tanking. My savings could be seized. Debt collectors could come after me. All because my sister decided to gamble with my identity. The next morning, my phone rang again. Different number. Hello? Cameron? It's Mom. Of course. Hey, Mom. Alexis called me last night. She's very upset. She should be. She stole my identity and racked up $150,000 in gambling debt. That's a bit dramatic, honey. She made a mistake. A mistake? Mom, she committed fraud. She's your sister. She was desperate. So she used my social security number without asking? Well, she probably thought you'd say no if she asked. Because I would have. This is insane. Mom's voice went soft. Pleading. Cameron, she needs help. We all need to come together as a family. Where was the family when I was paying my own way through college? Or when Alexis got the BMW and the condo and the vacations? That's not fair. Your sister works very hard. And I don't? Silence. Cameron, she's in real trouble. If you don't help her, she could lose everything. She already lost everything. She gambled it away. Don't be cruel. I'm not being cruel. I'm being realistic. She made choices. Now she has to deal with the consequences. She'd do it for you. I laughed. Actually laughed. No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't even lend me $50 for groceries in college. But sure, she'd cover $150,000 in gambling debt. Cameron. I have to go, Mom. I hung up. Turned off my phone. And for the first time in my life, I felt something I'd never felt before. Clarity. Because I finally understood. My family didn't see me as a person. They saw me as a resource. And I was done being used. I spent the next 3 days documenting everything. Every call from debt collectors. Every email. Every transaction on that fraudulent line of credit. I filed a police report. Identity theft. The officer who took my statement barely looked up from his computer. Your sister did this? Yes. And you want to press charges? I want it on record that I didn't authorize this. He typed slowly. You know this could result in criminal charges against her. I know. Against your sister. I heard you the first time. He printed out the report. Handed it to me. Good luck. I took it to my bank. Then to the 3 credit bureaus. Filed disputes. Froze my accounts. Put fraud alerts on everything. My credit score had already dropped 60 points. 60 points because my sister couldn't stop gambling. On day 4, my dad called. I debated not answering. But I needed to hear what he had to say. Cameron. Dad. Your mother told me what's going on. Did she tell you Alexis committed identity fraud? I don't think we need to use words like that. What words should I use? She stole my identity. Used my social security number. Racked up $150,000 in debt in my name. She made a mistake. A mistake is forgetting to return a phone call. This is a felony. He sighed. Heavy. Disappointed. You're being very cold about this. I'm being realistic. She's your sister, Cameron. She's family. And I'm what? The ATM? That's not fair. No, Dad. What's not fair is everyone expecting me to clean up her mess while she gets sympathy, and I get blamed for not helping fast enough. No one's blaming you. Really? Because Mom said I was being cruel. You just said I was being cold. Alexis is calling me dramatic. But somehow, no one's holding her accountable for gambling away $150,000. Silence. We're asking you to help your sister. By paying her gambling debts? By being there for her when she needs you most. Where was she when I needed her? When I was working 2 jobs to get through college? When I was eating ramen for dinner so I could make rent? That was different. How? You were fine. You figured it out. Because I had to. Because no one helped me. And now we're asking you to help Alexis. I closed my eyes. Took a breath. No. Cameron. I said no. I'm not paying her debts. I'm not covering for her. And I'm not pretending this is okay. So what, you're just going to let her lose everything? She already lost everything, Dad. She gambled it away. Now she needs to deal with the consequences. You sound just like your grandfather. Stubborn and self-righteous. I'll take that as a compliment. He hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, feeling something between relief and exhaustion. That weekend, Alexis showed up at my apartment. I didn't invite her. Didn't even know she was coming. She knocked. Loud. Insistent. I opened the door. She looked terrible. Hair unwashed. No makeup. Wearing sweatpants and an old college hoodie. Can I come in? No. Cameron, please. What do you want, Alexis? I want to apologize. Okay. Apologize. She shifted. Looked down. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have used your information without asking. I was desperate, and I made a bad decision. That's not an apology. That's an excuse. What do you want me to say? I want you to take responsibility. Admit you committed fraud. Admit you destroyed my credit. Admit you put me in a position where debt collectors are calling me for your gambling problem. I know. I know I messed up. Then fix it. I'm trying. But I need help. I can't pay this off alone. That's not my problem. Her face hardened. So you're really going to do this? Just turn your back on me? I'm not turning my back. I'm protecting myself. From what? From family? From someone who stole my identity and expects me to thank her for it. I didn't steal anything. I just needed a guarantor and I knew you had good credit. So you used it. Without asking. That's theft, Alexis. You're being ridiculous. I filed a police report. She went pale. You what? I filed a police report. Identity theft. Fraud. All of it. Cameron, you can't. I already did. Do you have any idea what that means? I could lose my job. My license. Everything. Then you should have thought of that before you gambled away $150,000 in my name. I'm your sister. And I'm the person whose life you just ruined. She stared at me. Eyes wide. Shocked. Like she genuinely couldn't believe I was standing up to her. I'll pay you back, she said quietly. How? You're $150,000 in debt. You can't even make the minimum payments. I'll figure it out. Like you figured out how to stop gambling? That landed hard. I'm getting help, she said. I'm in therapy. I joined a support group. Good. That's a start. But it doesn't change what you did. So what, you're just going to let me drown? No, Alexis. You're going to save yourself? For once in your life, you're going to fix your own mess without expecting someone else to bail you out. She opened her mouth, closed it, then turned and walked away. I shut the door, leaned against it, and for the first time in days, I felt something like peace. Monday morning, I got a call from a lawyer. Mr. Morgan? This is David Chen from Chen and Associates. I represent Alexis Morgan. I understand you filed a police report regarding her use of your information as a guarantor. That's correct. My client would like to resolve this matter privately, without involving law enforcement. Your client should have thought of that before committing fraud. Mr. Morgan, I understand you're upset. But pressing charges against your sister could have serious consequences for her career and reputation. And her actions have serious consequences for my credit and financial security. We're prepared to negotiate a settlement. My client is willing to make payments directly to you to cover any damages. I don't want her payments. I want my name off that debt. That's more complicated. The creditor would need to agree. Then she needs to work that out with the creditor. I'm not withdrawing the police report. Mr. Morgan. Is there anything else? Silence. We'll be in touch. He hung up. I sat there, staring at my desk. Alexis had hired a lawyer to pressure me into dropping the report. Not to fix the fraud. To protect herself. That told me everything I needed to know. That night, Mom called again. Cameron, you hired a lawyer? I didn't hire anyone. Alexis did. He called us. Said you're refusing to cooperate. I'm refusing to let her get away with fraud. She's trying to make this right. By threatening me with legal action? She's scared, Cameron. She made a mistake and now you're trying to ruin her life. I'm trying to protect my own life. By destroying hers? She destroyed it herself. I'm just refusing to go down with her. Mom's voice cracked. I don't understand how you can be so heartless. Heartless? Mom, she stole from me. Used my identity. Destroyed my credit. And now she's hired a lawyer to intimidate me into silence. And somehow I'm the bad guy. You're her brother. And she's supposed to be my sister. But that didn't stop her from using me like a credit card. We raised you better than this. No. You raised me to be useful. To fix problems. To never ask for help. And now that I'm finally setting boundaries, you're calling me heartless. Cameron. I have to go. I hung up. Blocked her number. Blocked Dad's number. Blocked Alexis's number. Then I sat on my couch, in my quiet apartment, and realized something. For 34 years, I'd been trying to earn their approval. Trying to prove I was worth noticing. Worth celebrating. Worth more than just being the backup plan. But I was never going to be enough. Because they didn't want a son or a brother. They wanted a safety net. And I was done being one. The next morning, I got an email from the debt collection agency. Subject: Account Resolution Update. Mr. Morgan, we've received documentation indicating potential fraud related to account 7392. Our fraud investigation team will be reviewing the case. Please provide any additional documentation to support your claim. I forwarded them everything. The police report. The timeline. The screenshots. Then I called my credit card company. Disputed every fraudulent inquiry. Called my bank. Added extra security. Changed all my passwords. Set up two-factor authentication on everything. I was done being a victim. And if that made me the villain in their story? Fine. At least I'd be the villain who still had his credit intact. 2 weeks after I blocked everyone, the debt collection agency called again. Different person this time. Male voice. Professional. Mr. Morgan, this is Kevin Bradshaw from Cascade Financial Recovery. I'm calling regarding account 7392. Our fraud investigation team has reviewed your documentation. And, based on the evidence you provided, the police report, the timeline, and the fact that you never received any funds from this account, we're removing you as the guarantor. I sat up straighter. Really? Yes. The account will revert to the primary holder, Alexis Morgan. You're no longer liable for the debt. What about my credit? We'll be notifying the credit bureaus to remove all associated marks from your report. It may take 30 to 60 days to fully process, but you should see improvement within 2 weeks. I exhaled. Long and slow. Thank you. You're welcome. And Mr. Morgan? I'd recommend filing a formal identity theft report with the FTC. It'll provide additional protection if any other accounts surface. I will. Thanks. We hung up. I sat there for a moment, staring at nothing. It was over. At least my part of it. I wasn't on the hook anymore. My credit would recover. The debt collectors would stop calling. But Alexis? She was about to face the full weight of $147,000. Alone. Part of me felt bad. A small part. The rest of me felt free. That weekend, I unblocked Mom's number. Just to see if she'd reached out. She had. 17 missed calls. 6 voicemails. I listened to the first one. Cameron, it's Mom. Please call me. Alexis is in trouble. Real trouble. She needs her family right now. I know you're angry, but please. Just call me back. Second voicemail. Cameron, I don't understand why you're doing this. She's your sister. She made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Please, just talk to her. She's falling apart. Third voicemail. The bank is threatening to sue her. She could lose everything. Her job, her condo, everything. Please, Cameron. Don't do this to her. I deleted them all. Blocked her number again. Then I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Unknown Cameron, it's Alexis. I'm using a friend's phone. Please don't block this. I need to talk to you. I stared at it. Typed back, you had your lawyer contact me. We have nothing to talk about. Unknown, I fired him. I was scared and I made a stupid decision. Please. Just give me 5 minutes. Me, no. Unknown, the debt collectors are coming after me for everything. They're threatening to garnish my wages. I'm going to lose my condo. My car. Everything. Me, that's what happens when you gamble away $150,000. Unknown, I know. I know I screwed up. But I'm begging you. Please help me. Me, how? Unknown, loan me enough to make a few payments. Just to buy time while I figure this out. I laughed. Out loud. Alone in my apartment. Me, you want me to loan you money? After you stole my identity and destroyed my credit? Unknown, I'll pay you back. I promise. Me, you promised a lot of things, Alexis. None of them were true. Unknown, Cameron, please. I'm desperate. Me, then file for bankruptcy. Talk to a financial counselor. Join Gamblers Anonymous. But don't ask me to bail you out. Unknown, you're really going to let them take everything from me? Me, you took everything from yourself. I blocked the number. A month later, I ran into an old family friend at the grocery store. Karen. She'd known my parents for years. Always asked about Alexis at every holiday gathering. Cameron! How are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Hi, Karen. I'm good. How are you? Oh, you know. Busy. Hey, I heard about your sister. Such a shame. I tensed. What did you hear? That she's having financial trouble. Your mom mentioned it at book club. Said she's been struggling with some debts. I felt so bad for her. Did Mom mention why she has those debts? Karen blinked. No. Just that she's going through a hard time. Your parents are really worried about her. I'm sure they are. They said you've been helping her out? That's so good of you. I stared at her. I'm not helping her. Oh. I thought. My sister has a gambling problem. She racked up $150,000 in debt. Used my identity to do it. And now my parents are telling people I'm helping her so they don't have to admit what she actually did. Karen's face went pale. Oh. I didn't know. Yeah. Most people don't. Because they only hear one side. I grabbed my cart. It was good seeing you, Karen. I walked away before she could respond. And for the first time, I didn't care what people thought. Let them hear the truth. Let them judge. Let them whisper at the book club. I was done managing my family's reputation. 6 weeks after the debt was removed from my name, I got a letter. From Alexis. Handwritten. Real mail. I almost threw it away. But curiosity won. I opened it. Cameron. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even expect you to read this. But I need to say it anyway. You were right. About everything. I had a problem. I still have a problem. And instead of dealing with it, I tried to drag you down with me. I'm in therapy now. Real therapy, not just the sessions I went to so I could tell Mom I was trying. I joined a Gamblers Anonymous group. I meet with them 3 times a week. I filed for bankruptcy. It's humiliating. But it's the only way forward. I'm going to lose the condo. Probably the car too. My credit is destroyed. My savings are gone. But I'm alive. And I'm sober. From gambling, I mean. It's been 47 days since I last placed a bet. I know that doesn't fix what I did to you. I know saying sorry doesn't undo the damage. But I am sorry. Truly. You were the only person who told me the truth. The only one who didn't enable me or make excuses. And I hated you for it. But you were right. I don't expect a response. I just wanted you to know. Alexis. I read it twice. Set it down on my kitchen counter. Stared at it for a long time. Part of me wanted to respond. To say something. To acknowledge that she was trying. But another part of me, the part that had spent years being the responsible one, the backup plan, the person everyone took for granted, wasn't ready. So I didn't respond. I just filed the letter away. In a drawer. With the police report and the debt documents. Not to forget. But to remember. 3 months later, my credit score was back to normal. All the fraudulent marks were gone. The inquiries were removed. My accounts are secure. I bought myself something I'd been putting off for years. A nice watch. Not expensive. Just nice. I wore it to work. A coworker noticed. New watch? Yeah. Treated myself. Nice. What's the occasion? Nothing. Just felt like it. And that was true. There was no occasion. No birthday. No promotion. Just me, deciding I was worth celebrating. Around the same time, Dad reached out. Not by phone. By email. Subject line. Can we talk? I opened it. Cameron. Your mother and I have been talking. We know things have been difficult. We know we didn't handle the situation with Alexis well. We were scared, and we reacted poorly. We'd like to have dinner. Just the 3 of us. No Alexis. No pressure. Just a chance to talk. If you're willing, let us know. Dad. I stared at the email for a full day before responding. Finally, I typed back. I'll think about it. And I meant it. Not because I was ready to forgive. Not because everything was fixed. But because I was finally in a place where I could consider it without feeling like I was betraying myself. That was progress. And for now, that was enough. One Saturday morning, I was at a coffee shop when I saw her. Alexis. Sitting alone at a corner table. No laptop. No phone. Just a book and a cup of coffee. She looked different. Thinner. Older. Tired. She saw me. Froze. I could have walked out. Pretended I didn't see her. But I didn't. I walked over. Hey. She looked up. Surprised. Hey. Can I sit? Yeah. Of course. I sat. Ordered a coffee from the barista who came by. We sat in silence for a moment. How are you? She asked quietly. Good. You? Better. Not great. But better. I got your letter. She nodded. I didn't expect you to respond. I wasn't sure I would. Are you still angry? I thought about it. Yes. But less than I was. She nodded again. That's fair. How's the bankruptcy going? It's going. I moved into a smaller apartment. Sold the BMW. Bought a used Honda. It's humbling. Probably needed to be. She smiled. Sad? Yeah. Probably. How's therapy? Hard. But good. I'm learning a lot about myself. Most of it isn't pretty. Growth rarely is. We sat there a while longer. Not saying much. Just existing in the same space without hostility. Finally, she spoke. I don't expect us to go back to how things were. I know I destroyed that. But maybe someday, we can be something else. Something honest. I looked at her. Really looked at her. Maybe. And I meant it. Not today. Not tomorrow. But maybe. Someday. 6 months after the coffee shop encounter, I agreed to dinner with my parents. Not at their house. Neutral ground. A quiet restaurant downtown. I arrived first. Ordered water. Waited. They came in together. Mom looked older. More gray in her hair. Dad moved slower, like he'd aged 5 years and 6 months. They sat across from me. Thank you for coming, Mom said. Thanks for asking. Silence. Awkward. Heavy. Dad cleared his throat. We owe you an apology. I waited. When everything happened with Alexis, we handled it poorly. We put pressure on you to fix something that wasn't your responsibility to fix. You called me heartless. Mom flinched. I was scared. I said things I didn't mean. Did you not mean them? Or do you just regret saying them out loud? She looked down at her menu. Dad continued. We were trying to protect Alexis. We didn't realize we were hurting you in the process. You did realize. You just didn't care. That's not fair, Cameron. Isn't it? Dad, you told me I was being cold for not paying her gambling debts. Mom told me I was destroying her life. Neither of you acknowledged that she destroyed mine first. Mom's eyes watered. We were wrong. We should have held her accountable instead of asking you to bail her out. Why didn't you? Because we were scared. Of what would happen to her. Of what people would think. Of losing her. You weren't scared of losing me. We thought you'd always be there. Dad said quietly. You were always so dependable. So steady. We took that for granted. You took me for granted. Yes. We did. The admission hung between us. I'm sorry, Cameron, Mom said. Truly. We failed you. As parents. As family. We're sorry. I sat there. Processing. Part of me wanted to stay angry. To hold on to the hurt. To make them feel what I'd felt. But another part, the part that was tired of carrying this weight, wanted to let it go. I appreciate the apology, I said carefully. But I need you to understand something. I'm not going back to how things were. I'm not the family safety net anymore. I'm not the person you call when something goes wrong and you need someone to fix it. We understand, Dad said. Do you? Because for 34 years, that's all I was to you. The responsible one. The one who never asked for help. The one who always showed up. And the one time I set a boundary, you called me heartless. We were wrong, Mom repeated. I know you were. But words aren't enough. I need to see it. Consistently. Over time. What does that look like? Dad asked. It looks like respecting my decisions. Not guilting me when I say no. Not expecting me to solve problems that aren't mine to solve. And most importantly, not choosing one kid over another based on who needs more. They both nodded. Can we try? Mom asked. To do better? We can try. But if I feel like I'm being used again, I'm out. No explanation. No second chances. Fair enough. We ordered dinner. Made small talk. It wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't hostile either. As we were leaving, Dad stopped me. How's Alexis doing? She doesn't talk to us much. She's doing better. Not great. But better. Do you talk to her? Sometimes. Not often. But you do talk? Occasionally. We're working on it. He nodded. That's more than I expected. Me too. A few weeks later, I got a package in the mail. From Alexis. A small box, carefully wrapped. Inside was a book. The Art of Financial Recovery, a guide to rebuilding after crisis. And a note. Cameron. 1 year gambling free today. Wanted you to know. Also wanted to give you something that helped me. Not because I think you need it, but because you deserve to know that your boundaries saved my life. Thank you for not enabling me. Thank you for being the only person brave enough to let me hit rock bottom. I'm not fixed. But I'm better. Alexis. I set the book on my shelf. Next to the letter she'd sent months ago. Not because we were close again. But because progress deserved to be acknowledged. That Christmas, my parents invited me to dinner. Alexis won't be there. Mom clarified on the phone. She said she's not ready. But we'd love to have you. Just me? Just you. I went. Brought wine. Stayed for a few hours. It was strange. Being the only kid there. Being the focus of their attention without competition or comparison. They asked about work. About my life. About things that had nothing to do with Alexis or money or problems they needed solved. It felt different. Not perfect. But different. As I was leaving, Mom hugged me. I'm glad you came. Me too. Can we do this again? Maybe monthly? I thought about it. Let's start with quarterly. See how it goes. She smiled. Deal. 2 years after everything happened, I got a text from Alexis. Alexis, hey. I know we don't talk much. But I wanted you to know I paid off the last of my bankruptcy payments. I'm officially debt-free. Me, that's amazing. Congratulations. Alexis, I couldn't have done it without you. Me, you did it yourself. I just didn't stop you from facing reality. Alexis, same thing. Me, not really. But I'm proud of you anyway. Alexis, thanks. That means a lot. We texted back and forth a few more times. Nothing deep. Just checking in. But it was something. 3 years later, I bought a house. Small. 2 bedrooms. A yard. Nothing fancy. But it was mine. Paid for with savings I'd built without anyone else's help or interference. I invited my parents over to see it. They came. Brought a housewarming gift. Complimented the space. You did good, Cameron, Dad said. Thanks. We're proud of you. You know that, right? I looked at him. I'm starting to believe it. On the 5-year anniversary of the day the debt collectors first called me, I got a voicemail. From Alexis. Hey Cameron. I know this is random, but I was thinking about you today. 5 years ago, you made the hardest decision anyone in our family has ever made. You refused to enable me. You set boundaries. You protected yourself. And because of that, I'm alive and sober and rebuilding my life. So thank you for being the one person who loved me enough to let me fail. I'll never forget that. I saved the voicemail. Not because I needed validation, but because it was proof that boundaries aren't cruel. They're necessary. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for someone is refuse to save them from themselves. That night, I sat on my back porch with a beer and thought about the last 5 years. The debt collectors. The fraud. The police reports. The family fallout. All of it. And I realized something. I wasn't the failure. I'd never been the failure. I was the one who survived by learning to say no. By refusing to be used. By choosing my own peace over their comfort. And that wasn't selfish. That was self-preservation. I raised my beer to no one in particular. To boundaries, I said out loud. Then I smiled. Because for the first time in my life, I knew exactly who I was. And I didn't need anyone else's approval to feel proud of it. 7 years later, Alexis called me. Cameron? I have news. Good news? Really good news. I got promoted. Senior analyst. I've been sober from gambling for 7 years. I rebuilt my savings. I even bought a small condo. Alexis, that's incredible. I wanted you to be the first to know. Because none of it would have happened if you hadn't held the line 5 years ago. You did the work. Not me. But you gave me the space to do it. You didn't rescue me. You let me rescue myself. We talked for another hour. About her job. Her life. Her recovery. And for the first time since we were kids, it felt like we were actually siblings. Not competitors. Not strangers. Just two people who'd been through hell and come out on the other side. Before we hung up, she said something I'll never forget. You taught me that love doesn't mean saying yes to everything. Sometimes it means saying no. And meaning it. Yeah, I said. It does. We said goodbye. Promised to stay in touch. And as I hung up, I realized something. I'd spent years trying to be enough for my family. Trying to prove I was worth noticing. Worth celebrating. Worth more than just being the backup plan. But the truth was simpler than that. I was always enough. I just needed to believe it myself. And now? Now I did.